just encourage someone who's still waiting for their little miracle to come. And I think it's easy for me to say that, or maybe right now in your emotions you're like, it's easy for you to say you got pregnant pretty much right away, but everybody has a place of waiting. And that's what I shared from a post I actually did back in September when I was so nervous about this all, because even though I got pregnant, we don't know what tomorrow's going to hold. And pregnancy has already taught me so much about the preciousness of life. There's women that carry their baby full term and still lose them at birth. There's women who announce they're pregnant and the next week they lose the baby. But I wanted to just encourage you that I remembered I got married 2 months before my 28th birthday. And for some people, you're like, oh yeah, I would love to be married by 28. Maybe I'm older. So for you sisters, apparently God trusts you more than me, because he puts more on you than me. But 28, almost 28, 27, that's pretty late in the church culture to get married. And I really struggled internally, not externally. I wasn't going to go date crazy people and make all these bad decisions because I was lonely. But I really, really struggled with my faith and saying, God, I've done all these things. Like, why? What more? And I literally had to pray that God would take away the desire away for someone special, because it was literally crippling me. And I know that that's not the same as having a child, but I do believe the waiting aspect is still the same. And in those places of waiting, God just builds something in you, and you don't take things for granted. And I know it gets old, and when people would give me these words of encouragement, I'd be like, okay, I get it. God's trying to teach me something. Okay, I've learned it. Trust him. It's all gonna work out. And it's always easy to hear somebody after they've had their miracle happen. It's almost just like, yeah, easy for you to say. I can just tell you what I did when I saw my friends get engaged and get married while I was in that waiting. I just decided I'm not going to be bitter. I'm going to rejoice with them. I'm going to be happy with them, because that just means I'm one day, one moment closer to me finding that. Because if God puts a desire in your heart, I believe he is not evil. He doesn't play with your emotions. There's some women that are like, I don't want to get married. I don't want kids. And if that is the way they feel, I don't feel like God would give them that, unless God needs them to experience something that they think they don't. But when you desire that, I do believe that God will give it to you. Now, some women get pregnant and they have a lot of miscarriages. Some women never get pregnant. Some women find out that motherhood through adoption is their calling. And though we don't know why and we don't have the answers to it, I just believe that if you can trust God in the process, like nobody has ever laid on their deathbed and said, God failed me. It didn't work. Maybe it didn't go the way I wanted it to, but it was so much better. And I had just made it up in my heart. I said, God, and I still am open to the path of adoption. I said, God, if I can't get pregnant, we're going to adopt. And I refuse to go back to that black hole of bitterness and frustration when I'm so consumed with something that might not have been your will. And I have to trust that. And I know that's hard to hear, and it's hard to think that God is not punishing you or that God favors somebody else, but that is not the case. He's no respecter of person. He loves you just as much as he loves anybody else. And all I can say is that I learned in rejoicing with others when my time came. I just felt like it made it so much more sweeter, because the people who felt my support all these years were even more excited to see that, yes, this day has finally come for Tiffany. She found that special someone. She was there for me. I was a bridesmaid like 9 times. It's the same thing with having children. I know it's easier said than done, but God is faithful. And that's all I can say. He is faithful. And he loves you, and he's a good father. And just be open and don't have any preconceived ideas, because his plan is the best.